One book made me suspicious of literally everyone in the story, and the other gave its main characters 7 days to solve her own murder. So I thought I could figure out before the characters did, but that is funny because I used to think that I cannot even read fiction. So I was always more of a self-help reader. Um I genuinely used to think that, fiction required too much uh, patience, especially those thriller books. But when I actually started reading them, it completely changed my mind. So today I will be reviewing two thrillers that really got me into the genre. The first one will be Never Lie by Freda McFadden, and the second one will be Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. I'll tell you what actually worked for me, which one I preferred, and whether I will recommend you to read them. So let's start with Never Lie. Imagine you're staying in an isolated house that belongs to a psychiatrist who has mysteriously disappeared and was never found. So, sounds like a perfect holiday, right? Yeah, of course, absolutely not. That's basically the setup of Never Lie. So, a couple ends up at this house and they soon discover that the place has a lot more secrets than they expected. And the thing which I enjoyed the most about this book was definitely the feeling that you cannot completely trust anyone. You keep getting little pieces of information, and every time you think, okay, I figured it out, the book basically goes, no, you're not. So, and suddenly you're questioning your entire theory. The atmosphere also works very well. The isolated house, the missing psychiatrist, and the recordings of the patients. She used to record her patients. So it creates this constant feeling that, something is wrong. And for me, the biggest advantage of this book was the pacing. It doesn't take forever to get somewhere. There's always another piece of information making you want to continue. So the feeling when you tell yourself, I'll read just one more chapter. Yeah, that's this book. So I also liked that it was easy for me to get into as someone who is relatively new to fiction. It's not something where you need to remember 20 different characters. You're basically trying to figure out what happened, who is lying, and can I actually trust anyone? So, my verdict for Neville, I would be I'll rate around 4 out of 5. So, yeah, it's creepy, it's fast paced, and very easy to read also. So, if you are new to thrillers and want something that will get you into the genre, I will definitely want you to consider this one. So now we get to the second book, which is Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. So the setting of this book is basically the main character, which is Jet. She is murdered, except she survives. And then she finds out that she has a brain aneurysm and only has about 7 days before it could kill her. So she has only two options: undergo a dangerous surgery with a very low chance of survival, or accept that she has only 7 days left. And she chooses the second option. But instead of spending those 7 days entirely accepting what's going to happen, she decides that I'm going to find out who tried to kill me. So she starts investigating with the help of a friend Billy. Now, this is where Holly Jackson writing really worked for me. Like, she gives you these tiny details, a conversation, something someone says, a seemingly random piece of information, and you start thinking, wait, was that important? Because sometimes it is. You're going not just going to watch Jet investigate, but you also start investigating with her. Like, you get so much engrossed in that story. And the biggest thing is that you really can't trust anyone in this one, because even people who were close to Jet might be hiding something, even her own family. So while you're reading, you're constantly changing your own theories. And I really enjoyed that because I like books that make me feel like I actually have a chance of solving a murder mystery, even though realistically, I probably don't. But this book isn't just a murder mystery. 7 Day Countdown actually makes it much more emotional, actually. You know that Jet doesn't have unlimited time, so every discovery feels, more urgent. And that's also why the ending hit me harder than I expected. It was genuinely heartbreaking. So for me, this one I would rate around 4.5 out of 5, especially if you enjoy this detailed mysteries with you have to pay attention to everything, then you should definitely go for this one. So if I had to separate the two, Never Lie is the one I'd pick if I wanted something, quite creepy and addictive. And Not Quite Dead Yet is the one if I'd pick if I wanted, more detailed investigation with more emotional weight. And personally, I think I will prefer Not Quite Dead Yet a slightly more. But honestly, both books helped me realize something, that I didn't actually hate fiction. It was just I hadn't found my genre yet. So, if you are also someone who says, I can't read fiction, maybe don't decide that yet. You might have not found your genre yet. For me, it turned out to be thrillers, and I'm definitely not done exploring them. Part 2 is coming with more thriller recommendation and reviews, and hopefully fewer moments where I confidently say that I have solved the mystery when I absolutely haven't. So, if you want more book content like this, then subscribe and stay for part 2. And tell me in the comments, which one would you pick first? Will it be Never Lie or will it be Not Quite Dead Yet? I'll see you in part 2.